This was my question to you.
Thank you for that question. I think that really that is one of the legacy, the main legacy that my father left behind, which is that he was really, if you know anything about him other than his screen persona, he was a real, extremely thoughtful, deep thinker, and he was a person who really worked hard to actualize himself, to be the best him that he could be, and he studied philosophy quite a bit, and I think he got from the martial arts also his first taste of philosophy and of how to, in a physical way, express himself and evolve himself as a moving human being to the best of his ability. And the thing about him is that he was extremely focused. I mean, he obviously had a certain amount of ability naturally. However, he worked extremely hard, not only at perfecting his martial arts skills, but at perfecting his mind. He, wrote all the time in notebooks. He had things that he would say. For instance, he had a quote about willpower where he said that he recognizes that the power of will is the supreme court over all the other departments of his mind, and that he wanted to exercise that daily when he needed the urge to act for any purpose. And so, he would form habits designed to bring his will into action. And because he believed that that's how you make things happen, that you can sit back or you can take hold of your life and really create your life. And that was really what he aimed to do, and he was extremely passionate about that.
Bringing your will into action. I really love that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon, may I ask you, do you follow have you trained in the same art that your father created? Or have you gone on?
I have. Initially when I first started training in martial arts, I trained a little bit here or there in some karate and stuff like that, but I really was interested in getting into Jeet Kune Do, and so I studied with one of my dad's students by the name of Ted Wong, just in his backyard at his house, which is great. And because I really wanted to get to know the art and to understand my father a little bit better and to understand the level of his commitment better through the art that he created himself. And I've also studied other things. I've studied Taekwondo and Wushu and kickboxing and various other things because, to me, some of those things I studied in particular to prepare for films, and some of them I studied just because they were fun.
And you still study currently, correct?
I do. Certainly during the time that I first had my daughter, those couple of years, I didn't really so much, but I've gone on to get back to it.
Well, that's wonderful. We have a caller on line 3. Caller, can you give us your name, where you're calling from, and a brief question for Shannon Lee? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, your name? What's your name, caller, and where are you calling from?
Sure. My name is Craig, and I'm calling from Illinois. And I just want to tell Shannon that I'm 39 years old and watched your father since I was a young child, and actually your whole family. And I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the positive things and positive energies that you've brought to the planet. That's all I wanted to say, dear, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That really does my heart good to know that people are affected in a positive way. So.
Well, your family has truly affected so many people in the world, Shannon. I know that for a fact. We have another call from Precious from New York City. Precious, can you give us your name? And again, is it Precious? And are you Precious? And your question for Shannon.
Shannon, my name is Precious from New York City, and my question to you is, would your father have admired the talents of Jackie Chan and Jet Li and all that they're doing for America today as far as, you know, our action films? And I have posters of him all throughout my house. I was just interested in knowing, what did he do to get that 12-pack? How did he get himself in shape? And I mean, he was a true lion to martial arts.
Yeah. Well, to answer the first part of your question, and first let me say thank you for calling. I think that my father would be thrilled with Jackie Chan and Jet Li's careers. My father was really just a supporter of the martial arts in general, and he had many friends that were in the martial arts that were in different areas of the martial arts, such as Taekwondo and karate and Kenpo karate and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, he really appreciated anyone that really dedicated themselves to the martial arts, and he obviously also really believed strongly in the world getting to see the beauty and the strength of Chinese culture, and that's obviously something that Jackie Chan and Jet Li have continued to put out into the world. And so I think he would be tremendously thrilled and supported by their careers as well as the careers of many others. Jackie Chan actually was a stuntman on Enter the Dragon. I don't know if you knew that, but so they kind of trivia there.
Very interesting.
In terms of his 12-pack, you know, I think this is something that a lot of people don't really focus on or know, which is that he worked extremely hard. You know, he thought of the martial arts as his life vehicle, so to speak. And I was talking to my mom actually recently, and said to her, was talking to her about how many hours during the day did he spend training and working on his art, and she said, well, you know, what do you mean by working on his art exactly? Because he worked on it in everything and in every way. He wrote about it, he read about it, he choreographed fight scenes, he trained, he worked out, he sparred. He spent, he worked on it in a very complete and total way from all different sides. And he exchanged knowledge with other fighters, and he watched boxing films, and he did all these sorts of things. But she said that he probably did that anywhere from 9 to 12 hours a day. And that was what he did all day long. And he worked out incessantly. He was never just sitting still. If he was watching TV, he was stretching. If he was reading a book, he was working his grip machine. If he was, you know, so he would wait for an elevator and drop down and do push-ups. I mean, he just was constantly honing his body and his body